Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? Are we safe? You wonder when things happen, I mean, we have a history of this, of violence. And when I say, are we safe, is it safe to go to store to get a loaf of bread? Is it safe to go to the Boy Scouts jamboree or Little League baseball? I mean, what kind of security do we have? What has happened is that apparently the security that was involved in there was a thing. It's 2 days after what happened, and most of you know what happened, and they're thinking in terms of this is the greatest economic year we've had. We have to reopen as soon as possible after so many lives lost and so many individuals injured. We have to think in terms of that. And I just heard on that the NRA is very silent, radio silence they have. They're not making any comments on this situation that occurred there in Vegas. But you have to start thinking, and we've had, within 2 weeks, a congressman was at a baseball game, and what happened and what happened there, so are we really safe? Can we go to that family picnic? Can we go to dinner? Can we go to these various functions that we're accustomed to and we have a right to? But situations like this and where was Congress? The only ones, I think it was about 2 congressmen that decided to say we need new legislation. I think they're from Connecticut, but only 2 out of all 52 congressmen. None of our protectors spoke up about changing the law as far as gun control. Gun control is a nasty word, and you can see the NRA has not made any kind of statement whatsoever. I mean, you can sit back and you wonder if you need a reason to change your representatives. This is a great reason, because are we safe? Can we go to 7-Eleven? Can we go to the Girl Scouts jamboree? Can we go to the amusement park? Do you feel safe going to the amusement park? Do you feel safe going to Grandma's 100th birthday party that was held in a public park? What about the Little League? We got a lot of the Little League baseball. How do you feel about that? These are things that we need to really, really look at without prejudice. When we look at not the economic advantage that it gives her. And right now, this example that we had there, they were concerned about breaking the record economically. They've never had made so much money. An emphasis was placed on the fact that this was an economic year. We can't keep Vegas closed down too many days, because they'll lose money. Where are our virtues? What are we thinking about? Are we safe? Okay, you think about that. You assume, and I do, that we're safe when we get in our car and drive down and decide to say, hey, I think I'll get me an ice cream cone over at the fair, the county fair. Or either you have a football game you like to go to, you say, oh, I think I'll go down and watch the pros this time, a basketball game, any sporting event. Even Going to a rodeo. Why not? Yeah, going to the rodeo. You might feel, but are we safe? What Congress has to do is step up. They have to step up. This is, and if you need a question to ask anyone, I mean, anyone running, whether it's civic association, whether it's a state senator, or whether it's for Congress, or whether it's for Senate, the first question you should ask, what do you think about gun control? Oh boy, you, once you ask that question, you're in deep trouble, you know, because all the people supporting that, and most of the people involved in gun control are people with money, because weapons cost money. An automatic weapon, it's out of sight. The average person can't afford automatic weapon. A pistol, yeah, but automatic weapon, so it points to people of means, people that have the money and the time. Imagine having a stash of almost 40 different types of weapons in 2 places. Imagine in a hotel having 17 weapons. I mean, you can't get by with your cell phone. They want to stop you and hold you up with your cell phone or lead pencil or a toy gun. Oh yeah, you got a toy gun, man. That's it. Although it may be, it looks like automatic weapon, it may be just plastic. Have you thought about that? Do you feel safe going to the airport, the bus stop? Feel safe driving down the road? I mean, what can happen? I've been down this road 100 times, you know. Say, what's gonna happen? Here in something right home, Prince George's County police are being investigated for type of things that we feel wouldn't be in a metropolitan area like Prince George County, but they have racial problems in Prince George right now today. It's internal racial problems. You know, if the police are having problems themselves, you know, the people have, excuse me, that's locally I'm talking about. And Prince George County Police Department being investigated. Yeah. You need questions to ask. You have elections coming up. You couldn't find, everything has been peaches and cream. You know, everybody was doing what they were supposed to do as far as the political situation is concerned. But all of a sudden, you have to start thinking about your children, about your wife and your family appearing at a public place. Any public place is vulnerable. It's been proven not 1 or 2 or 3 times for years, but the lobby has been working all over the country. Not just the South, it's North, West, East, all over, has prevented gun control. Like I said, it's only 2 congressmen that I know of that are alarmed and insist on tabling the silencer for a weapon. That's before Congress. Now, I bet most of you didn't even know that they're attempting to make silencers legal. Yeah, that means you won't even hear it. And then at least in the case in Vegas, that they could hear the automatic weapon going off. But with the silencer, hey, look. You don't know where it came from, what happened, you look down and, you know, you're wounded. So if all Americans, the world, not just Americans, it's all over the world, is that the fact that you have to think about and do some homework about individuals that you place in office. Not like, you know, my favorite thing about, no, not what Aunt Susie and Uncle Jack said about somebody. You do some homework on an individual. Go to the Civic Association meeting. Go to the different church meetings. Go to the various political meetings. And when they have a hearing, I mean, of any sort, take part in your community and go to the hearing, a public hearing, and find out why they're going to put that garbage up 2 doors down from you. Because once they have a public hearing and it passes, then you're out there screaming and it's too late because they've had the legal public hearing, which you didn't attend because maybe you had something more important to do, but you're going to pay for it later when you don't participate in the political system, not just this country, all over the world. And I was appalled at the fact that they were so busy in Vegas trying to find when can they open up again after 59 people had lost their lives and over 500 wounded. They were worried about the economic effect. And like I said, very, very few congressmen, senators stood up and made it known that they would not support silencers on weapons after catastrophe had occurred like this. Do you need any more evidence that you need to participate in the political system of this country and this world? Find out what they're doing so that you can be aware and make your representative aware of how you feel about some of the local and the foreign affairs that are going on, because in the end you will pay for it, or your generation will pay for it if you sit at home and not participate. To me, this example of, I say, a grandmama or grandpop deciding to go down to the corner store or deciding to go to the fair, you know, they want to, you know, they can't participate, but hey, look, they can watch the kids jump and swim and various sporting events, the entertainment event. This was an entertainment event. You're supposed to be in a mood to be entertained, you know, not to have fears of where is the next shot coming from. And so I'm just taking this time, and you know, I've done this before about voting, which is very, very, very important. Do not vote in blocks. What you do, you get the information yourself. When you hear about the hearings, and you do your own background check, and then when you meet the individual that's going to be represented, ask him one question. What does he think about the NRA? And see what kind of response you get. That is the thing that really the future of the country first, the future of the world is based on. Arms. Arms are the things we have. A couple of nations now are threatening with arms. The major thing is arms, you know. We will destroy you. That's the attitude, you know, that some of the countries have. But you yourself You have people in office that you voted for, and they will make decisions that will destroy your future, destroy the future of your family, of your generation, because they make decisions based on selfishness, not any no caring at all about the problems that something like this happens with a family. Individuals celebrating marriages, celebrating all sorts of things out on the town for the day. This is something that you cannot prepare for. You have to get it in the end. Begin to analyze anyone in office and ask them that one question, what they think about the NRA, and why do they feel that they are so powerful? Is it because they have the money, or you're not paying attention when you go in the voting booth? When you go in the voting booth, don't ask Aunt Mary and Uncle Susie and all of them about things, you know. Don't get involved with them. Do some homework on the individual. And if you feel that you want to live in a society, you know, where there's fear, you look out your door and see if it's safe. You want to go down to get ice cream cone, and you wonder, is it safe to go to the mall now? Or let's see, I don't know. I think I'll go to the mall after everyone else goes to work, or go at a time that certain groups are not there, or go to a mall. Do you have to sit and think about that? That's part of safety. That's part of living. That's part of what all of us, regardless of race, would like to be able to do, is to feel safe in our community, feel safe in our country. And the only way that you can really enjoy the beautiful country that we have, that we all fought for in different ways, is, hey, make sure that this coming election, 2018, that you scrutinize the individuals, not just one in a generation of that individual. Look 2 or 3 generations back on that individual and see what his generation stood for. And usually, yeah, it passes on, because those people, they have a tendency to educate the young generation on what position that they should be in as far as equality is concerned. Equality is the thing. All of us are God's children, no matter what anyone say, how much money we have. And what's going to happen is that the only thing that you're doing when you teach hate is destroying the future country, the future individuals that will be making decisions for your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. And you don't want them to come into a society where there's no respect for each other. And that is the key. You have to respect other people. No one, you know, families just as bad. You have more problems, and you find more crimes within families, where families, brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers, they're violent towards their own family members. And you wonder, say, hey, what's wrong there? What's wrong with the individual? He's violent, but before his generation, his future generation, or his past generation. And those are things that we really have to sit down and think about. Equality. None of us would love to be in a position so that we can say, you're a good person, but I'm better. And sometimes people not only think that way, they say that way. They figure that the world was left to a certain group and certain positions, but that's not true. And in the end, we're going to find out that when you are destined to destroy anything, sooner or later, you're going to destroy yourself and your generation in the future. Think of them grandchildren, great-grandchildren. What are they going to inherit? A society of hate? What kind of world will that be when all of us are out there preaching hate for no reason, just prejudice? And like I said, prejudice is within families now. It has nothing to do with color or anything. You find aunts, cousins, sisters, brothers, and all. They have that hate in them, and they eventually destroy themselves or destroy people around them. What do you think of a young man or a young woman killing their own child? Where did that come from? Circumstances that the people are in, circumstances we're in now. We can't continue to make this country great by hate. God brought us all in, and it'll take us all out when he gets ready. There's no such thing as a superior being. Not one. Situations happen in all families, all economic levels that man don't understand. Why me? But like I said, this month I had problems medically, you know what I mean? But hey, I bounced back from it. And I've been wearing black the last two. I said in mourning for people not to understand how great life is and that we are all equal in the eyesight of God. And that if we continue, we will eventually destroy our great country. There was a situation where that's going on now concerning statues. And one of my colleagues at Virginia Union, Doug Weiler, the first black governor, he made a statement about this statue situation. He said, why spend millions of dollars to get rid of it? Put it in education. Hey, you know, I mean, what can the statue do? You know, but just bring on further hate for the next generation, because that's what the statue represents, destruction. So, I mean, Doug Weiler is the first black governor from the state of Virginia, and that was his suggestion. Hey, heck with the statue. Those $1 million you take them down, you know, it's not worth it. Because he's thinking in terms of the future. Education is the future. And that's what we should all think in terms of, is to make sure that we get a good education for everybody, because education is the future. That's what makes us great, is educating our people And that's one of the strongest things that anyone you want to make a pledge, make sure everyone around you gets an equal opportunity for education. And then we will definitely have a strong, strong country. This has been Ed Brown. Hey, don't forget, hey, time to vote. 2018. Get your spyglass out, magnifying glass, and go over the history of every individual that you vote for. I mean, not just what he says. And one of the major questions I want you to ask me, what do you think about the NRA? This has been Ed Brown. I see you next time.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet. Green hat, red hat, oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt, oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants, oops.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.